Hey guys, here we go into a video on the importance of the COVID-19 vaccine and why it's important for many reasons, okay? First, we're going to talk about what the COVID-19 vaccine is. We're going to talk about DNA. We're going to talk about all that stuff. We're going to be talking about why it's important if you're a person. We're going to talk about why it's important if you're an athlete. And then we're going to talk about why it's important to me, in my opinion. Okay, so we're going to go over a lot of layers. I don't actually know how long this video is going to be because I've never had to explain it over computer like this, and whenever I'm yelling at my boxing student Theo about it, it always seems like it takes a long time. So, but so where are we going to start? Well, what is the virus and what is the vaccine? Okay, so the vaccine, well, the virus. First off, everything in the world is made of protein. Everything. Everything has the same base pairs of A, T, G, and C. Those are the nucleotides that make up all proteins. And you're like, oh, what? There's only 4 of them? How can it make up all of proteins? Well, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that idea. But all things in the world are made of protein. Except for plastic. I don't actually know what plastic's made out of. If it's probably has to be protein, right? But why, nothing on the earth eats it, nothing can decompose it. I guess there's things now. Anyway, I'm getting carried away. It's very bad for the environment, but anyway, what is the virus, right? Well, the virus is going to be something that disrupts your body's normal protein production, okay? So, if like you're at home and your brother's in trouble all the time and you're not in trouble because they think you're the golden child, right? They're just not giving you any attention. You go out, you get all in trouble and shit. Well, that's what happens when the virus shows up. It's like your brother's in trouble and all the attention is on the virus. Instead of maintaining a happy household, right? It's got to focus on this one area and other things kind of get out of whack and out of equilibrium. And your body has a hard time keeping up the energy to take care of itself because all of its protein production is going to make proteins to fight the virus, okay? And it's never seen the virus before, so it doesn't know what to do. It knows what to do, but it doesn't know what to do. So let's talk about, first off, what that means, right? So, AGCT, okay? That's going to be, right? So we have the DNA helix. Man, I'm terrible at this. So we're going to just do this the best I can. Oh, God. So I guess we'll go here and here and here and here. Okay, and then they connect here and then here. And we got all this shit here. Oh, damn. Okay. Right? You guys seen this structure like a million times, right? And it's all fancy. What is DNA? And a bunch of fancy people talk like, well, we have the helix, the double-stranded helix, and mRNA is not always, but it's, and they try to, but what is it really? Okay, and why does it always look like this? But if everything looks like this, how can everything be made of protein? Because everything would look the same, right? Well, first off, we don't know what this is, right? When we look at it very closely, it could be an A here, right? It could be a T here, right? Of course it is. But these are separate, okay? Right? That's why they call it the double helix. They split in the middle in each one. But A can only go to T, and C can only go to G. Now, we're going to talk about the exception to that rule later. But that doesn't mean that A always goes to C below it. Okay? It could be A, 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 A. There could be 1,000 A's in a row. And then there could be 1,000 C's. And there could be 1,000 T's. And then there could be 500 A's. And then a couple of G's. And then and you see, there are all these codes, even though there are only 4 building blocks. And they can be infinitely long. Not infinite, right? But how long are they? Well, this is the reason why proteins all look different. Like your body is all made out of protein. Your fingernails, your eyeballs, your hair, your skin. They're all made out of these same building block proteins. But they all have different shapes and different functions and that's because they have a different sequence that your body goes through to produce them. So, how does your body know to produce this? Well, when you are made in a baby and, you do the fertilization of the egg and, mitosis and all that stuff, and the egg splits and you get DNA from both of your parents, that is about 3 billion sequences long. 3 billion C's, G's, T's, and A's. And your body learns to create your entire body through that sequence, okay, through that code. And your body learns to build as it gets enough nourishment, as it finds ways to replicate these proteins, okay, and produce them from its minerals and its food sources, right? It's energy source, you say, not food, just energy. And your body finds a way to take these codes, very cleverly hidden in your DNA, to create your whole entire body, and yada, yada, yada. So what happens is, even though the DNA always looks like this when you see it as a strand, okay? When you have, let's say that just for shits and giggles, that all of the A's go like this, all of the T's go like this, all of the C's go like this, and all of the G's go, so here let's go A, T, C, and G, what can that look like? Like this, okay? We got 4 little pieces of DNA, and when you put them all together, and let's say we have, and again, your whole DNA sequence is 3 billion, right? 3 billion. And it only winds up being like 3 meters long, right? When you stretch it out, 3 meters. A meter, is that 9 feet? I think that's 9 feet. Goddamn Americans. Anyway, so you have so many hundreds of sequences, right? Thousands of sequences, and your body knows what, all these ancient viruses look like, because, as they tell you when you're a kid, everything that you do becomes part of your body. Everything that you interact with, your body learns how to fight and fight it off, like all your allergies and all of this and all of that. And then your body remembers what those things look like, so that it doesn't have to fight as hard to fight it off later. Now, we're going to talk about how that works in a second, but we don't need sequences that are thousands and thousands of whatever long. And figuring out what each of those sequences does in our DNA is like, DNA mapping is what people are trying to figure out, yada, 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 what each of this, and then they have codon. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. I'm probably not doing a great job if I make this too Anyway, so say you have a sequence that's like 200 pieces long, right? We'll just say only 200, and the first 50 are all A's, right? Boom. So now, here we go. It looks like this, right? And then the next 50 are T's. Oh, and now it looks like this. And then the next 50 are C's. Now it looks like this, right? And now the next 50 are G's, right? And now it looks like this. This long little booby-looking thing, or like maybe it looks like lips, right? Kiss my ass. This is still, when you look at it microscopically, this DNA strand. But it took this shape because of the sequence of pairs, right? And that, what they call that is folding. So depending on the shape of the protein, it's going to have a different folding pattern, okay? And now this folding pattern at a microscopic level is very, very, very important, because you have to have very, very, very specific molds at that level to be able to fight something off. So your body is going to see this, and let's just say that this was the coronavirus, right? It was 50 A's, 50 T's, 50 C's, and 50 G's. We got super lucky. It was really easy to sequence. And now it looks like this. So now we know. Now, actually, so let's take a break. What is the virus? Okay, or what is the vaccine? So the virus is going to be a bunch of proteins that look like something, something. And those viruses, that virus is not only going to do harm to your body, right, while it's trying to siphon off your energy, siphon off your proteins, siphon off your, and make your body produce proteins that it wants, right, that create more of the virus and create more problems for you, and siphon off more of your energy. And while it's doing that, what is your body doing? Well, let's just say, right, that one of the parts of the virus looked like this part here, these lips. Okay, we're going to say that that's, I can't remember what they called it in the article. They had such a great term for it, but it's the feet. It's the feet of it. It's what allows it to latch on to the part of its target that it wants to find, right? It'll go through our body, and if it's, I don't know anything too much about the virus, like what, lungs, or it's, obviously like respiratory, but it gets into your lungs, and then it attaches to those lung parts. It doesn't want to get on your skin. It doesn't want to get here on your lips. It doesn't want to be in your nose. Maybe it wants to be in your nose. I don't know if it wants to be in my nose, but we know it wants to be in your lungs. So whatever it has, those feet that make it want to attached to your lungs, it's very specific, right? It's very specific why. So it needs a very specific answer, okay? So those feet, our body are going to say, oh, this is attacking us. And first we got to find out what it is, and then we got to investigate it, and we got to see what these feet look like. And we got lucky that the foot looks like C, G, right? So maybe we can code it really quickly, and we're going to find what our body's going to try to do is it's going to try to make a composite sketch of what this foot looks like, and it's going to try to make a protein sequence that is very, not similar to it, but contrasting, right? The sequence that's going to best interact with the feet of the virus, right? So you can kick it off and get the hell out of here, man. And that's what we want to give to our bodies. That's what's in the mRNA vaccine, okay? Is the blueprint to the feet of the virus. Now, why is this important, okay? This part's very, very, very important because the longer it takes for us to get this foot off of us, the more damage that cell has suffered, the more we have to recover, okay? Now, they say that, in theory, our bodies are completely new every 7 years or whatever, right? Like that our body will replace all of our cells, that they'll die off and be cycled off, and they go through these phases to continue making sure that they're able to do that. And so yeah, some are going to die. They're not going to live as long, and our bodies learn or forget things, or like there's collagen that makes us get old. Anyway, like whatever it is, I can't remember all the things. I think they figured it out actually, which is actually kind of cool, but I don't know if you guys read scientific papers or anything, but anyway. So, so your body gets a look at the virus, but the whole time when the virus is attached to you and your body's learning how to fight it, it's spreading very quickly. Viruses don't take very long because they're so small to reproduce. It doesn't take them very long to get in and start doing damage and replicating. And then by the time that your body takes to figure out what that thing looks like, to get it off, so much of your tissue has been infected. So much of your tissue has had the virus injected into it. And that means that your body is now doing what the virus is saying, right? Well, those cells are those pieces of your DNA, right? Or those, and then whatever is going on. But your body is no longer producing proteins that help you, well, let's say, break down your mucus, right? Help you break down your food, or this, or, all those things that keep your body in equilibrium, right? And for a normal person, right, you get sick, right? But for an athlete, what happens to an athlete? Someone whose body is constantly hyper producing proteins and trying to be super buff and ripped, and you're trying to be in super good shape, and you've kind of got to constantly be exercising your arms and your body and your lungs, and then all of a sudden you can't even use your lungs, but they're just as active, right? Now you're going to lose all your wind, people call it, or whatever. I don't believe in that crap, actually. I think it's all horse shit, but I have my own theories on what fitness is and is not. If you guys want to stick around on my channel and check that out, it's cool. But where am I going with that? Anyway, it's becoming part of your body. And eventually, maybe your body will figure out how to create enough of a resistance and fight it off enough or quick enough that you don't get really sick, that you don't get really a debilitating sickness from this, right? Maybe you don't even get sick, right? Maybe your body fights it off really well, but and it gets lucky because it figured out the sequence, right, really quickly. And who knows how your body figures it out, or at what level, or at what type of immunity you need to have for your body to have an advanced look at a virus like this and figure it out in quick enough to stop you from really getting sick. Like, who knows? We have no idea, and that's why there's so much variation. Okay, now people don't think about how dangerous it is that something like this killed 100,000 people, or 200, or 500,000, okay, or 1,000,000 people, or however many it is. But nobody here understands that if we didn't have a public media, we didn't have people to warn us, if there was no internet, massive, massive, massive swaths of the population would get this and die. And it's not that everyone who gets it is going to die. It's not. Because we have medical care that we can get people. We can get them respirators. We can do this. It's just that we only have so many resources. Okay? Just like our bodies. We can only produce so many proteins at a time. Okay? We can only get so much energy into our body and out of it. Right? If your body's not producing energy with what you have, you're getting fat, right? Your body can't possibly use it all. But sometimes you don't have enough to do the things that you need. And being sick, it makes it even harder to eat and get your nutrition. And anyway, that's like a side point. But our societies don't have enough resources. And the internet being a resource, right? Like the fact that some insane nut job like Donald Trump was allowed to say, don't worry about the virus. Like, Jesus. Just absolutely insane. But if we didn't have anyone to warn us and everyone got sick all at once, that's when the most amount of people are going to die. And that's when you really get to see how tragic this type of stuff can be. And the only reason that people get to pretend like it's a choice is because we have so many responsible people who understand how dangerous this type of stuff is, to warn the other smart people. Thank God that if it's only the idiots dying, no offense, and I know a lot of boxers like, I'm the same way. And I'll tell you a little story after this, right? Nobody's going to tell me what the fuck to do. Nobody. I yelled at my own mom in the grocery store. She tried to tell me what to do. And I shouldn't have been doing what I was doing. And boxers, they're the same way. I get it, right? Everyone wants to be tough and make it on their own way. And man, I had a hard life. And I never watched Fouts boxing. He didn't influence me. He didn't teach me nothing. I knew all this on my own. I know everyone wants to say that. I know. But it's not that type of thinking that allowed you to think that you even that even allowed you to think you got to think that. Okay? I don't know if that made any sense, but anyway, there just aren't enough resources for everyone to get sick all at once. There aren't enough respirators for us. There are not enough, right, for everyone to get sick. And even though, like, whatever, you may not think that it's your problem, it's your body, it's your choice. Well, number one, it's not. It's been determined by the government as a safety hazard. Okay, now we have like things like the Omicron, right? There are enough people who did not get vaccinated. Okay, now check this little wrinkle out, right? The virus may not have been around for very long, but if we think that it's a variant of the flu, right, or something similar, and maybe it used to be a different virus and it evolved into something that could attack humans, right? And then it travels really quickly and our bodies have to learn what it looks like and all that stuff. But it's learning too. And all the people that don't want to get vaccinated are risking spreading mutated versions of this living creature. This is a creature. You can watch it move under a microscope. It's alive-ish. Right? It's not a choice. It's not a hoax. It's not It's a living creature that's looking to attack our bodies. It prevents us from being able to... You say you don't want anything to tell you what to do? You're going to let a virus tell you what proteins you can produce with your body? Oh, I'll let a virus, but another man? Oh! Anyway, let's talk about that idea a little bit. Okay, well, I guess we'll talk about... Well, I guess it's kind of in line, right? So anyway, don't forget that these sequences are not going to be 50 sequences long of A, T, G, A, T, C, and G. They're not. They're going to be maybe 5 of here, 5 of this one, 2 here, 5, 10, 20, 50, 70. And the shape is going to look... And it's going to look like some shit like this, and boom, it touches down, and your body's got to fight these little feet here, right? Figure out what those feet look like. Well, this massive protein structure is attacking you, right? But this massive protein structure, while it's hijacking all your proteins and it's making your cells do what it wants, it's learning from you because it wants to survive and grow and look in this new rich environment and be like, man, I can really fuck shit up here. Like Republicans when they get in a Congress, right? Or when they get into office. So, while this thing, if you have the vaccine, okay? If you have the vaccine, your body is going to get to figure out what these little feet look like much, 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 much quicker. And that means that this virus is going to have much, 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 much less time to adapt. It's going to have much, much, much less time to attack your body. It's going to have much, 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 much less time to destroy the work you've done to get in shape, to become an athlete. All that time you spent in the gym, hitting the bag, saying, fuck you, I'll beat your ass. Every time you hit that bag and you're like, yeah, I'll fuck that dude up, boom, boom, boom. And you're like, nobody gonna tell me what to do. You know, your motivation, you're mad at someone. And you're going to let the virus take that away from you? All that inspiration you had to work, to go to the gym? You know how hard it was to go to the gym that day? All your friends is partying? You're the weird guy shadowboxing in the corner? And all of a sudden, none of it gets to be worth shit? Because some guy wants to go super hard against you in a sparring session? I mean, because you want to get the virus and you don't want to take care of yourself? So anyway, little personal experience, okay? Okay? The virus, if your body figures out how to fight it really well, it's not going to do a lot of damage. You're going to kill it off really quick. You're not even going to get sick that much. No big deal. Who cares, right? It's nice. Great. Good for you. Maybe you do get really sick. Maybe it stays attached to your body really long, and you never figure out how to fight it because you didn't get the vaccine, and you die, right? There's an extreme case for both. How many people do you know that can say that they got the virus and they didn't get sick? It was nothing. It was cool. It was like, man, I know a couple. I think I got it. I love Carl's Jr. Yo, Carl's Jr., shout out, yo. Hit me up. I will do a commercial for your big Carl, man. I love that thing. Whew. Anyway, I tried to eat 2 of those in one day. Got my large combo. I know, fuck you guys. I need a lot of energy, though. And I couldn't taste them. I took not even more than 2 bites. I couldn't eat it. I couldn't do it. It was just, there's not appetizing. I wasn't hungry. I was so sick. And I knew I wasn't eating, but I just couldn't get anything down. I didn't have the energy to eat. Nothing was appetizing. Anyway, that's why I thought I had it, you know. I've not taken a test to make sure. I just got my vaccine. But how many people do you know that said, you know, I got it and my body wasn't very good at fighting it off and I died? Oh, you don't know anybody like that, right? Because they're dead, right? Because some people actually did pass away because they didn't get the vaccine, or this wasn't fast. Even some people who are getting it. But the idea is not that the vaccine is going to stop you from getting it. The vaccine is going to give you the best shot at seeing what it looks like, at giving a film study of what the virus looks like when it touches down on your body so it can fight it off. It shows you what that protein sequence looks like. And when it does, it delivers those feet into your body, and it says, here, check these little things out. And your body says, ew, we don't like that. And it takes protein from you. Your body still has to take time and shut down other vital sources of its protein production because its energy is busy fighting those things off and creating antibodies. Antibody. That's all that means, is a protein sequence to fight a very specific protein structure. So, number one, okay? And now, here's the part that all of you guys that want to be professional fighters or coaches, this is the part that is not negotiable, okay? Now, number one, you should get the vaccine to protect yourself from the virus and what it may do to your body. Now, number one, real quick, I have a number of patrons in my Patreon, and a number of people that I coach, and a number of people that I've worked with personally, and that I know personally who've gotten it. And I don't know any of them that haven't said that they wish they gotten the vaccine. One of my most talented and bright students, he joined my Patreon when he was 16. I'm not going to say his name, but they think he's a prodigy. He's very, very talented. He works very, very hard. I have so much love for this kid. And he told me that he recently got it. And it broke my heart that I failed him this hard, that I didn't make sure that he got the vaccine before this, that I couldn't find a way to tell him. And more people in my Patreon are telling me that they have these views that I'm a man, ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do, blah, blah, blah. And it's just not about you. You can't even be responsible enough for your own hard work. What did it take to get to this point in your development? And you're just gonna throw it away because of some ignorant view? Because of 99% of the shit that you heard in this video, you probably had no goddamn idea? Because you didn't want to study it, you just wanted to make your decision, and then you broke up with the idea. You said, fuck it, I don't need to learn anything else about this, and anytime anyone brings it up, I'm just going to yell, my body, my choice, and walk away. Right? But you're not even thinking about yourself clearly, and that's how ignorant you are. Now, the idea that you're allowing it to see more part of your body, to learn to fight off parts of your body that are similar to mine, and you're going to risk giving me a dangerous version of it? I'll beat your goddamn ass. Come at me with a fake vaccination card. I will sock you in the fucking mouth. Okay? Third point, right? Third point. You want to be a fighter? You want to be a professional athlete? You want to be somebody? You want to be on the stage? You want to be like Teofimo Lopez? You want to be around people that are the master of their craft. People who have worked their lives to perfect their art. People who deserve the opportunity to choose who is allowed to endanger their lives. Right? Just like every other person on the planet. But you're going to tell me that you're going to go around a bunch of people that you respect, that you admire, that you want to learn from? Exceptional people who want to share very detailed and intimate knowledge of their experiences and their life with you. Something that you can never learn anywhere else. You goddamn know it. And you're going to disrespect them and put them at risk by having a fake vaccination card? By saying my body, my choice? By saying that, you're telling me you are so ignorant that you're going to put yourself in danger, but you're going to put me in danger? Are you kidding me? But then you're going to go, and now here's, again, funny story, right? Nobody tells me what the fuck to do. I don't even get to tell me what to do. I'll have to live my life all... No, I'm just kidding. But I was going to make a joke about how impulsive I am, but then I realized, man, maybe that's true, man. I'm such a psycho. I can't even tell myself what to do. I just got to flow with the universe, and that's why it's so much easier to be high and chill. Damn, I'm a crazy fucking tree-hugging hippie, huh? Anyway, we recently, me and my boxing student Theo, we went to the Wildcard gym. Now, we went on a weekday, and that was a mistake. We went at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 1:30. That was a mistake. We got there like 4:30 or something. It was like 2 hours, 2.5 hours on the drive there. It was cool. So whatever. We're gonna go get some work in, and we'd been there a couple months before, and we show up and we get there, and man, if Freddie Roach isn't at the fucking door, he's right there. He's right there. Freddie Roach is right there, and it's so cool, man. I saw him. So I came during the camp with Pacquiao for Spence. I think he was still fighting Spence then, not Ugas yet. But I showed up and I, congratulated him. I didn't get to say like, oh, I'm Fouts boxing theory. It was like very brief. He was very, very busy at this time. He's in the downstairs part, and I congratulated him about his victory with Rosado. Very, very, very impressive, beating Bektemir. Oh man, super, super good performance. And he's real busy, and he's like, yeah, I know, And then we go upstairs and we work out, and it's fun. And this time we go, and he's right there at the front door. He's just sitting there, Freddie Roach, right? It's funny because I've gone to the gym, the wildcard gym, a bunch of times when I was fighting, when I was training, years before my injury. And I would go, and the coaches would tell me, you got to come back when this guy's here. You got to come back when Freddie's here. And every time I went there, Freddie Roach wasn't there. He wasn't there, so, and I wanted to meet him. I was still, like, a big fanboy of, like, everything in boxing. Like, everything's, like, all magic and, figuring it out and, before. Anyway. So we show up, and Freddie Roach is right there, and like, it's cool, right? And like, get to meet, hey, I'm Fouts, I'm Matthew, this and that, and the lady like interrupts us, and she's like, have you been here during COVID? And we're like, yeah. And he's like, oh, you have your vaccination cards then? Do you have those on file? And I look at Theo, and I'm like, do you have yours? Do you have a picture at least? And then I'm standing there, I got my arms crossed. And then he's like, if you don't have your vaccination cards, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. And I look at her, and you guys know, nobody fucking tells me what to do. Nobody fucking looks at me and is like, oh, you got to leave, right? Like, I'm going to fucking leave this place, right? Like, I couldn't just beat every motherfucker up in that place. Like, just start socking people in the face, right? So I look at Theo, make sure he's game, right? I'm like, oh, shit's about to fucking set off, right? No. I look at Theo like he's a fucking dumbass. Because he doesn't have a right to endanger Freddie Roach. He doesn't have a right to endanger any of those fighters in that gym. He doesn't have the right to possibly give a wild, contagious, dangerous virus that he may be very good at fighting and not even know he has to somebody who has the vaccine, to somebody who has been taking it very seriously, to someone who may have someone at home that they care about. He doesn't have the right to endanger someone like Freddie Roach. He doesn't have the right to endanger someone who is, I don't know, obviously we know he has Parkinson's, right? But what other things that his body is doing? What other problems his body has producing proteins already? We don't know what proteins his body's not already producing. We don't know, like, oh, if he has diabetes, if somebody's having problems producing those proteins. We don't know. And then if you give them the virus, and then their body has even a more difficult time producing them, and they die. And you're not allowed to do that. So, I told Theo he's lucky that I don't make him sit in the car for 3 hours while I work out. I didn't even want to work out. I just wanted to go with Theo and have him work out and, show off how much better he's gotten and, whatever. But we left. We drove 2.5 hours. And then we went and sat in. There's a Jack in the Box like across the street, and I swear to God, there was one car in front of us. One goddamn car. And it was like a half an hour wait. So the whole street is jam-packed. Okay? It's packed with traffic. We spent 2.5 hours in the car. We got out for 5 minutes, went to the drive-thru, 35 minutes, 40 minutes in there, 30 minutes waiting for the car in front of us, and we started to wait for our food. Then 30 minutes just to get back on the freeway. And then another 2-hour drive home. And the whole fucking time, I can't convince him that he needs to get the vaccine. I can't. And I think he's going to get it now. I think he's figuring it out that it's not just about him and, and like he's young and, I know a lot of you guys are young. A lot of you guys want to think that it's about you. A lot of you guys. But I'll tell you what, if you think you're going to give me some bunk-ass proteins from your body that I don't want, that's my choice, right? My body, my choice. And I don't think that you're allowed to not get the vaccine and be in public. I don't think you're allowed to possibly have a much more dangerous version of this virus that your body is, or the fact that you might contract it and your body's not as good at fighting it off and it might mutate and give me a gross one. I don't think you're allowed to do that. Anybody got a counteroffer to that? But you guys want to be professional fighters. If you guys are coaches, you guys want to live the lives of exceptional people. You want to live the lives and you want to be around exceptional people. You want to be around people who have dedicated their lives to learning something, the art of something. Passionate people. You want to be one of those people too. You want to be an exceptional person, someone to be looked up to, a role model. It starts by making exceptional choices and going to the gym and working your goddamn ass off. Hard work, dedication. That's step one, right? Learn how to goddamn read Harry Potter, step 2, motherfucker, but you gotta start learning to make exceptional choices, okay? Now, on that note, I'm not just gonna talk shit about Mayweather on his reading, whatever, a very, very smart businessman. Change boxing forever, right? Look at Devin Haney, right? Great example in that idea, but let's also think about the idea of respecting our opponents, right? Respecting the people around us. And people who do that, they don't take steroids. They don't take banned substances. They don't get caught cheating in half of their camps. Canelo, Oscar Valdez, on top of the fact that they keep getting these crazy gift decisions. Yikes! Think about the type of people that you idolize. Think about the kinds of people who make exceptional decisions. The people who want to be exceptional people. If you want to be an exceptional person, you want to be someone, again, you have to make exceptional decisions. You have to take these things more seriously than just yourself. Okay? Anyway, I hope I did a decent job explaining this stuff. If anybody has any questions, let me know. And yeah, maybe I can make up a follow-up video if there's any questions or whatever from my understanding of this and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, thanks, guys.